Sullivan. I'm a former IRS agent and teaching instructor with the IRS. Welcome to my YouTube station. It's the home of the 5-minute or less video. I don't want to bore you to death. I've been doing this a long time. I've worked thousands and thousands of cases since 1973. I've been doing this for close to 50 years. Next August, it'll be 50 years. I'm a national expert in IRS representation, been on TV multiple times. You can check my website out, 777irs.com. You can see all my national videos there. I have a whole team of former IRS agents on staff. I do these YouTubes for 3 reasons. So A, you hear from an insider, you hear the truth about IRS. Number 2, I do this to educate you so you can find out what is important to you from that IRS perspective, and I educate you about the subject. And today I'll be educating you. And number 3, I don't want you to get ripped off by giving your cases to people who don't know what they're doing. I started this channel by surfing YouTube and saying, man, there's a lot of people on YouTube don't know what the hell they're doing. They've got slicked up offices and they're wearing ties and they want to convince you how good there are. Many are reading scripts. Some of them may be actors, but at the end of the day, they don't know what the hell they're talking about. I can smell them out like so fast. So as a former IRS agent, revenue officer, I worked and taught the offer program. I am an offer specialist. I've probably looked at more IRS collection cases probably than anyone in the nation, actually. Hell, I should. I've done this long enough. But what I want to tell you today is the most important thing about your offer and compromise is the National Standard Program. If you do not know the National Standard Program, do not file an offer and compromise, because there's a good chance it's not going to go through. I can't tell you how many offers I looked at, accepted, and denied, and most of the time it's because the IRS national standards. Let me explain that to you so you understand. IRS looks at 2 things. When I was reviewing offers, I looked at 2 things. What are your assets? What's your liquidity? And what do you spend your money on really on a monthly basis? Well, IRS had to find this fair for everybody. So IRS's rule for assets is we want all your liquidity in your assets. If you have $100,000 in assets, we want that $100,000, or you'll have to make your offer at least $100,000. Real estate is discounted 20%. But the big thing and the big catch and the big hook here that you're going to get stuck with is IRS looks at your income, and then IRS looks at your living expenses. But there's a key word, because IRS has a column on financial statements. It says for IRS use only, what are your living expenses that IRS is going to allow? And those are the national standards that I'm talking about. What I need you to do is, when you finish this video, in your toolbar, IRS has national standards in 4 categories. They have it for food and clothing, they have it for housing and utilities, they have it for car operation and vehicle ownership cost. So if you want to find out what IRS is going to allow you, not what what you think they're going to give you, you have to put in your toolbar IRS national standards for food and clothing, IRS national standards for housing and utilities. That will take you to a page with every state. You click on your state, you click on your county, then they'll tell you how much they're going to allow for housing and utilities. They're not going to allow any more than this. They're only going to allow what that chart says put together by the Department of Labor. IRS is then going to put IRS national standards for ownership of a car. IRS is going to lock you in. You can't have over and above that, or IRS is not going to give you that over and above. Then you're going to have to look at IRS national standards for your ownership, actually, for driving the car or car expenses, insurance and gas. So if IRS allows you $3,000 and you've got $5,000, guess what? IRS is not going to accept that 5,000 you put, they're only going to allow you 3,000, and that changes the entire face of the offer and compromise. So I just want you to know, if you're not aware of these national standard expenses when you're dealing with IRS, whether you're putting your case in hardship, a payment agreement, or an offer and compromise, the IRS national standard is going to change what you think. Do not submit an offer and compromise. Do not, unless you understand what IRS is going to allow you. If you have $2,000 or $3,000 a month left over, IRS is going to multiply that by the number of months you have left on your statute, and that's going to knock you out of the park. You've given IRS 20%, you've lost the money, and probably given your money to a firm that can't go ahead and settle the case. If you are going to hire somebody for an offer and compromise, if it's not us, make sure you're hiring somebody that's going to look at the financial statement that IRS is going to look at. I asked for your 433A. Some people may want your 433A OIC. Make sure someone looks at that, and make sure that person looking at that is a tax attorney, a CPA, or enrolled agent, or some former IRS agent who knows what they're doing. So do not give your money to anybody, because they need to explain the national standards to you. If this information was helpful, please give me a subscription. We love subscriptions because YouTube loves them and they promote us more. Welcome to give me a comment. And you can leave me a comment saying, Michael, this would be a great idea to go ahead and do a YouTube on this. That'd be fine. I'm available for a consultation. You want me to work your offer, hit me up. Anyway, thank you for listening. I'm sorry this went over 5 minutes. It's 6:20, 6:30. Have a good one. Thank you.